It's crazy, right? Every time we come on here and we mock the Boston Celtics, what do? They just come right out and they slam it right back on us. They humiliate us. That's exactly what they did yesterday. I didn't even go after Joe Mazzulla, went after Jason Tatum, right? Look, and it was this whole thing with the Rockies celebration following that major montage that went through. Now what? Now what do we do? We've got game 6. We don't even have any NBA today. So we want you to just come back and see what we can make. 5 bets, 5 minutes. We went 2 and 3 yesterday. I don't know what the hell happened in the NBA. For, but we hit our other 2 bets. So that's great. We hit our total bases bet and we hit our NHL total bet. I'm fine with that. Look, you're not going to hit them all. I understand that. I'll take what we can get. Meaning it's 3 and 2, 4 and 1. That's okay, but we're gonna go 5 for 5 today. Look. It's been an up and down week, and I want to end on something positive. I know there's no NBA, but we still start the clock and get this thing rolling. All right, let's run through this. 3 are already up here. The first is Pete Alonso hitting a home run. That's where we open up. Alonso. Now look at this. You've got a matchup today for the New York Mets, where Alonso, I think it's actually pretty favorable. They're on the road. They're taking on a guy named Connor Siebold. By the way, it is in Coors Field. Doesn't mean it's an automatic home run, but Alonso would be a guy that will target. We have a pretty good number here for Alonso at plus 330. In fact, on Caesars, where we're building this, where we'll give you this awesome offer, that's the best bet. That's the best number that you can find. So Alonso, we open up slam factor with a home run. All right, early baseball's out there. Early baseball, 2:20 Eastern time. Hunter Green on the road in Chicago on the mound. This kid's got a K rate north of 30, but we're not going to get 8. He can definitely deal, but we ain't getting 8. So let's look at this from a larger standpoint here, which is Justin Steele on the other side. Not a huge K rate, but he's doing a lot of things well, including pitching to contact. Probably, even though it's early, probably going to be a lower scoring game. The area that I think Hunter Green is he's going to have a tougher matchup against the Chicago team that doesn't offer Ks all the time. Like Horner at the start, you're not going to just get automatic Ks. You get a couple of runs here. You can definitely get some hard hit balls against Green. Not something that we would stray away from. In fact, under 7.5 and minus 121. Also, the best bet that you can find for this number is on Caesars. All right, last one that we're going to hit before we start building live will be the Twins. Plus 1.5. Minnesota at home against Kevin Gausman, who's a pretty good pitcher. We understand Toronto's a pretty good baseball team. As a result of that, Gausman's doing a lot of good stuff. But hey, no knock on Louis Varland, please. He comes in with some pretty decent metrics. K to walk rate's great. It's not Gausman, but not many are. So I look at this with a guy who's, Kane at 26% versus a Toronto team that makes it difficult in some areas. I understand that. Kirk, Springer, Vlad, Bichette. But everybody else, Kiermaier's a little hit and miss. But everybody else is a K. Is at least a guy that you can attack. Minnesota gets a couple of runs early in this game to stay up with whatever Toronto's dealing. Next thing you know, that half a run may be huge. All right, gigantic when it comes down to it. I'm kind of feeling another home run prop, aren't you? Kind of feel like we can get one more. Let's go to that Milwaukee game, shall we? Let's target Darren Ruff. Oh, I think so. Plus 490. You know the numbers he has? Plus 490 on Caesars. 19 plate appearances, 17 at-bats, 8 hits, 1 jack, but he's making contact. And Ruff at just under 5-1. With those numbers where you have seen success, 8 of 17 hits, being able to make contact. being able to draw hittable pitchers out from Alex Wood has been something that Darren Ruff has done pretty consistent. Granted, it hasn't been a ton of times, but in that few amount, it's been consistent. Last one here for you. Why not? Why not take a shot on the WNBA? Shall we? I'm looking for discrepancy. I'm looking for large dogs in games that I think are close. You've got a home dog in Chicago, and you've got a home dog in Seattle. I think both are live, but the play here would be Seattle at home getting 5.5 against Dallas. Again, this is close to a pick 'em. You'll have to just look at, the deep analysis. We find best plays here on the market. And on Caesars, you get 5.5 at home for Seattle, where they should be favored, most likely by a point. But lines are off. It's a little bit easier to catch this wider discrepancy in the WNBA. We don't need to take it at 210. We'll just take the 5.5. And you can go ahead and stop the clock. All right? There you have it. You're 5-5. We'll run it back for you in a second. But I want to show you what's going on here on Caesars. In fact, if you did this yesterday and followed my advice, your risk-free or your bonus bet back or your bet back that didn't hit, 21 or older, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, you know. If you listened to me yesterday, your first bet that you would have got back if it didn't hit. Bryson Stott plus 1,100. Imagine if you put 1,250 on that. We gave it to you in yesterday's video. I don't know why you wouldn't have done that if you're brand new to Caesars. Give you another one today. Jake Berger, home run, 375. Load them up. Look, you could put up to $1,250 and get it back if you miss. That's a hell of a payout right there. If it hits. If it doesn't hit, then you didn't lose anything. You got it right back. Here's your 5-5. Head to Caesars. Take advantage of that, will you? Alonso home run. Green under 7.5 Ks. Twins on the run line. Ruff home run. Seattle plus 5.5. Yes, we like Seattle plus 5.5. You best believe it. Thanks for playing. Thanks for seeing. Thanks for hanging. We'll see you today, 4 o'clock Eastern, or on the Discord. There's a link below to join that. Half off your first week.